Hey everybody! In this video, I'm doing the Montreal Canadiens Players Power Rankings. It's week 3. What I do is I do like the NHL or NFL Power Rankings for the teams, but I'm doing this with the Montreal Canadiens skaters. There's 21 positions, and I go 21 to 1, and we're going to get right to that. That's all right here, Talking Habs, the home of Habs hockey, where everything is dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. And to get more of this kind of content for your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge, just head down there, subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and that'll get you that. And while you're at it, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. That's down there too. And you can leave any comments that you may have about the video, about the power rankings, who you think I got wrong, and just do that in the comment section right down there. So in week 2, these were the standings. So we had Jordan Wheel on the bottom, and Jonathan Drouin was number 1, Tatar number 2, and Weber number 3. And let's see how those rankings shake out for week number 3. So for week 3, we had 3 more games that they played. First game was Columbus Blue Jackets, where they won 3-2 in a shootout. Next up was the Washington Capitals on the road, where they won 5-2. They beat the number 1 team in the league in regulation. And then last night, that was back-to-back, by the way, Washington and New Jersey. They played the Devils last night, and they lost 4-3 in overtime. So all these rankings are based on these 3 games, and every week I go based off the games that are played the week before. So first off at number 21, Mike Riley. He did not play in those 3 games, so he moved down 1 spot. He was at number 20. He didn't play. I could put Folan there or Riley, but Riley was the most recent of those 2 to play, so I put him in number 21. He had, like I said, no games, so no points. He's overall 0 goals, 2 assists for 2 points. He is a +1, and he has 9 shots. Next up, moving down 3 spots, is Paul Byron. Paul Byron, who is currently day-to-day with a lower body injury, I believe. He did not get any points in 2 of those 3 games. He did not play last night against New Jersey. He is -1 in those 2 games, and he had 0 shots. For the season, he's 1 goal, 3 assists, and 4 points, +3 with 11 shots, and those are not Paul Byron numbers, and that's why he's down at the bottom. He needs to wake up and find his game. Don't know what's wrong with him, but definitely he's not performing, and he needs to do some work to get out of the bottom here. A new addition to the list this week, and playing his first game played against New Jersey, a first game of the season, is Charles Hudon. So Charles Hudon at number 19. I put Hudon at number 19 even though he didn't play any games because Riley isn't playing and not a very offensive player. Byron is really doing poorly and he's injured, so I thought I'd put Hudon there. Now Hudon replaces Ryan Poehling in the lineup because Ryan Poehling got sent down to Laval, and consequently I have heard since I did this list that Hudon was sent back down to Laval right after the game. So we'll see if he'll be on the list next week. He had 0 points in the game last night. He was even and with 1 shot. So Hudon at number 19, I'm a little disappointed. I thought he'd come in and do something. He was really playing well in Laval. I said he would get their next call up, and he did get called up, but he didn't show anything much in that game, and he got sent down right away. So I assume Paul Byron is probably playing the next game on Tuesday. Next up at number 18 and moving up 1 spot, Brett Kulak. That's Brett Kulak. He's at number 18. Kulak has played the last 3 games. He took Riley's spot. He didn't do much, though. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, -1, 6 shots. Overall, he is 0 goals, 1 assist for 1 point, -3 and 18 shots. I put him there at number 18 because of the 3 guys behind him. I just figured the fact that he's playing earns him that spot. That's my reasoning. Next up, and moving up 4 points in number 17 from number 21, is Jordan Wheel. As Jordan Wheel at number 17, he had a goal, no assists for 1 point. He was a +1 and 3 shots. Overall for the season, he's 3 goals, 1 assist for 4 points. He's a -3 and 23 shots. He did score that goal against Washington, so considering the production level from everybody behind him, I think that puts him up there. Next up at number 16, and moving up 2 spots, if you can read my I don't know if you can read that. Jesperi Kotkaniemi. I know my writing's bad. What can I say? He's got a long name. So Kotkaniemi moves up 2, purely based on the fact that he's been reinserted into the lineup. I also believe he's a better player than the other guys there. Last night, in this first game back, he did not get any points. He was even with 0 shots. Overall, he's 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, -1, and 19 shots on goal. But hopefully, now that he's back, he's going to move his way up in these listings, because he's got to show us more than he's showing right now. Yes, it's the sophomore jinx. I get that, and he legitimately was hurt with the groin injury. But give him a few games back, and I think he'll start moving up this list. Next up at number 15, and down 3 spots, is Nick Cousins. Nick Cousins comes in at number 15. He had no points in the 3 games. He was even with 5 shots. Overall, he's 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, +6 and 25 shots. So based on the fact that he did not get any, had no point production, I had to move him down in these power rankings, so that's why he came down 3 spots. Whoops. Moving up 2 spots. So for the first time, he moves anywhere, because he stayed at the same place for the 2 weeks, is Cale Fleury. That's his name, Cale Fleury. So Cale Fleury had a goal, his first goal of the season, and his first goal as an NHLer. No assists for 1 point. He was even, and he had 8 shots in those games. He is 1 goal, no assist, 1 point for the season, a -2, and has had 20 shots. He continues to have really good physical play. Yes, he makes a mistake here and there. Nothing too serious, nothing too costly. I think he's doing well, especially for a rookie. And yeah, he moves up to 14 because I thought his play was pretty good. Moving up 1 spot into number 13 is Artturi Lehkonen. So Artturi Lehkonen at number 13. He had no points in the 3 games. He was a +1 with 7 shots. But Lehkonen is that kind of player that he does a lot behind or away from the puck that a lot of people don't really notice, but he definitely had that part of his game. He just didn't have the offense, but he had his chances. So Lehkonen had, I said, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, +1, and 38 shots overall for the season. So Lehkonen in number 13, up 1 spot. Moving down 1 spot into number 12. Is Uncle Nate Thompson. Nate Thompson moves down 1 spot into number 12. He had 0 goals, 1 assist for 1 point, +1 and 4 shots in those 3 games. Overall, he's 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points, +2 and 25 shots. I think I moved him down 1 more, not because necessarily his play, but just in the adjustment, he had to come down 1. So Nate Thompson at number 12, especially, that's pretty respectable for a guy that's on the 4th line, that's for sure. Whoops. Up 2 spots from number 13 to number 11 is defenseman Ben Sherratt. So Ben Sherratt in at number 11, up 2 spots. He had 0 goals, 2 assists for 2 points, a +1 and 3 shots in those 3 games. Overall, he's got 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points, a +6 and 36 shots. Sherratt, his play has just been so much better than the first 10 games. He's just coming on strong. Now you can see the reason why Bergevin went out and signed him. And I just think his play has been very good. Just 2 assists, although he's a defenseman. Definitely good enough to move up the 2 spots. That's for sure. So Ben Sherratt at number 11. So dropping down 5 spots, and a bit of a surprise here, I'd like to know how you guys feel about this one, is Max Domi. Max Domi sliding in at number 10. For the week, he was 0 goals, 1 assist for 1 point. He was a -1 and had 9 shots. Overall, he's 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points, +6 and 48 shots. Now, the reason Domi drops so much is he's in a bit of a slump. He hasn't not much point production. Even just his game hasn't really been there all the way, so I thought he deserved to come down those 5 spots. Hopefully he's going to turn it around in the next 3 games. I'm not sure if there's 3 or 4 games next week, but in next week's games. This player is down 2 spots from number 7 into number 9, and that is Yoel Armia. Yoel Armia drops down to 9th. He had 0 points in the 3 games. He was a -1 with 11 shots. The only good thing, well, his play wasn't horrible or anything, but he had 11 shots. That was a good thing. He's 6 goals, 4 assists, and 10 points for the season. +5 and 48 shots. But then, you know, his production hasn't been there this week. So definitely deserved to move down. I thought Domi, I moved Domi down more than Armia, even though he had a little bit of production, because I think Domi, there's a lot more expected from Domi. And that's my reasoning. So Yoel Armia at number 9. So moving up 1 spot from number 9 into number 8 is defenseman Victor Mete. Victor Mete moves up to number 8. He had 1 assist for 1 point. He was a +1 with 6 shots. Overall, he's 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. He's a +9, and I believe that leads the team. And 26 shots so far for the season. Mete, more than just his production, Mete's play has been really good. Like, I just think his decision-making, he jumps into the play a lot more, and with confidence and getting shots away, much better shots than last year. I just like his play overall. He's turning into a really smart defenseman. So Victor Mete moves up to number 8. So moving up 1 spot into number 7 from number 8 is another defenseman, and that is Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie moves up to number 7. The Habs de facto, I don't say de facto, but the Habs number 1 defenseman, I think, anyways, my opinion, right now. He had 1 assist for 1 point. He was a +2 with 4 shots. Overall, he's 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points, +8 and 46 shots. Petrie's just been solid and steady. He hasn't been, what's the word I'm looking for? There hasn't been he hasn't put a lot of points on the board, but he's just solid and steady all the time, and I thought he deserved to go up the 1 spot. So that's Jeff Petrie, number 7. The next player moves up to number 6 for the tied with the highest jump this week. 4 spots from number 10 to number 6, and that is young Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki moves up to number 6. He had 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. One of those goals was a power play goal, his first power play goal ever. +1, 5 shots. He's overall 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points, which pretty much it works out to he's got about 40 points for the season, which is kind of what we all expected from him, about 35, 45 points. He's going to be right in there. He was a +3 in 27 shots. I think just Nick Suzuki also, he took over the second line center position from Domi during the game last night. Don't know if that's going to be permanent or they're going to try that for a while. He looked comfortable there. I just think his game is just quickly coming along. You can see those great hands, that great vision, that great hockey mind of his. Amazing. The sky's the limit for this kid. So Nick Suzuki moves up 4 into number 6. Next up, dropping down 1 spot from number 4 to number 5 is Brendan Gallagher, the heart and soul of this team. So Brendan Gallagher had 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. He was a +4, 8 shots. Overall, he's 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points, +8, and leads the team with 70 shots. Gallagher moved down 1 more for the fact that the other guys around him moved up, and I couldn't move him up past them. Pretty much that. But Gallagher didn't have a bad week with 3 points, 2 goals. Just a great heart and soul player of this team. future captain when Shea Weber retires. That's my bet. And he moves into number 5, down from number 4. Dropping down three spots, to get into the 4th position. Mostly because he's injured and he can't play. So I think that's mostly the reason, really. Is Jonathan Drouin. Jonathan Drouin drops down from number 1 to number 4. He had no points. He only played in the Washington game, though. He got hurt there and didn't play. No, he played Columbus and Washington. So in 2 games, no points, +1, 5 shots. Overall, 7 goals, 18 assists for 15 points, +4 and 44 shots. And he had that shootout winner in the Columbus Blue Jackets game. So Jonathan Drouin drops down 3 spots, but it's mostly because the guys that were behind him really had great weeks and had to move him down and then past him. So staying in the same spot as last week, at number 3 is, whoa, I just almost threw this right into my computer. Our big defenseman and captain of the team, Shea Weber. Shea Weber stays at number 3. This week he had 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. He had a +5 and 9 shots. I think he had a couple of power play goals in there, and I'm not sure if it was then. 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points overall. I believe he's second on the team in points. He's a +6 for the season and 55 shots. Weber definitely deserves to stay there. He could be higher up, but 2 other guys had better weeks than him. So Shea Weber stays in number 3, just having a great season. Anybody thought he was finished and too old and done? I think he's proven that wrong this year, that's for sure. Now, moving up 4 spots. So he's the other guy that moved up 4 into 2nd spot from 6th is the guy who almost won the game for us last night, but the goal was called back, and that is Phil Deneau. Phil Deneau moves up to number 2 from number 6. Deneau had 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. He was a +5. He had 3 shots. Overall, he has 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. +9, so he's tied with Mete for the +- lead, and 30 shots on goal overall. Deneau had a really great week, showed some great offense and always the great defense. That number 1 line is a true number 1 line, and he's a true number 1 center right now because he's doing everything. Yeah, he doesn't have the point production maybe of an elite number 1 center, but he is really playing that role, I think, really well. So that's Phil Deneau at number 2. There was something I wanted to say. Oh, and that goal that he almost got last night. Yeah, I mean, he pushed it in with his thigh. I agree with that. But why wasn't there a penalty called on Subban for tripping him in there in the first place? That's my question on that controversy. So next up is number 1, and I guess you can figure out who number 1 is because he hasn't been mentioned yet. So straight out of the doghouse and up only 1 spot, but out of the doghouse into number 1 is Thomas the Tuna Tatar. So Thomas Tatar moves into number 1. He had 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points, and he had 4 points in that Washington game. He's a +2, and he had 8 shots for those 3 games. Overall, 7 goals, 13 assists for 20 points, and leading this team in 20 games, 20 points. Who'd have thought Tatar? I mean, I don't think it'll last all season, but you never know. This guy's going to set a new career high in points, I think. He's a +5 and 54 shots, so Thomas Tatar deserved of being in number 1 because he had the most points. And I don't know if the most shots, but right up there. And I just think he did a great job. Who'd have thunk it, eh? Considering that trade where he was the throw-in, and then he had a great season last year, and he is on pace for he's on pace for 80 points, and I don't think he'll get 80 points, but he can get over 60, and that would definitely be a career high. So Thomas Tatar leads this week for the Montreal Habs players in the power rankings. So hopefully you enjoyed it and I didn't butcher it too much. Let me know what you think about my picks or my standings in the comment section down there below. What you think of the video, what you think of the team this week and how it went, what you think of anything you want in the comment section. And while you're on the way down there, give it a thumbs up if you like the video. And that's it. And you'll get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge from Talking Habs. So we'll be back next Sunday for week 4 of the power rankings. And hope I'll see you there. And we'll see how it turns out. We've got games against... I don't know. We got back-to-back games. I know that on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then they're playing Saturday. Yeah, I think Saturday. So it's 3 games again, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm babbling enough as it is. Anybody who stayed till the end here, it's 20 minutes in. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time on my next video right here at Talking Habs. And go Habs, go. Bye, y'all.